G'day everyone, welcome to the Cold-Blooded Contributions podcast. This is an episode of a redo of an earlier episode that had technical difficulties. The Cold-Blooded Contributions podcast is proudly sponsored by Midwest Tongs. For over 40 years, the Midwest Tongs team has provided the highest quality snake handling tools made in the USA, made by professionals for professionals. We're your hosts, the Ipers. I'm Ty Iper, and with me is my husband, Scott Iper. This podcast will bring to you people in the hobby who have made an impact on us creatively, be it artistically, with data, or improved our husbandry. Today, we're stoked to have with us two presidents of some of our biggest reptile societies, Adam Sapiano from the VHS and Joanne Payne from the Illawarra Reptile Society. Thanks so much for sitting down with us, guys.
Again.
Again. Let's see if we get it right this time.
It's been a year. Hopefully we will.
Has it seriously been a year?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Gone quick.
Yeah,
Much
it's
has happened in a
fine.
year.
Yeah.
So, Adam, can you tell us a bit about the VHS?
Yeah, so the VHS was formed in the early 70s, just before I was born, and is a not-for-profit volunteer-run organisation to promote the conservation and private keeping of native reptiles and amphibians.
Joe, do you want to tell us a bit about the Illawarra Reptile Society?
So the Illawarra Reptile Society has been going since the mid-90s. It has changed its names a couple of times over the years, but in its present state has been around, I think, since 1998. Yeah, so we're a small group of hobbyists here in the Illawarra and, love promoting the safe keeping and welfare of animals or helping people who are new to the hobby.
Awesome. How did you guys both get into reptiles?
Do you want to go first, Joe?
Okay, I'll go first this time. I was born in England.
Good one, honey.
You won't hold that against me. When I came over here as a 7-year-old, we were in South Australia. So then I think it was only a few weeks after we moved there, I had this lovely big eastern blue tongue that was walking around the yard. And I just fell in love with them. And it was like, we don't have anything like that in England. Then it was, on from there. It was always, Dad was building me enclosures, keeping shinglebacks and blue tongues and geckos and bearded dragons. Unfortunately, the only snakes we had there was eastern brown snakes. And Dad used to get horrified when I brought those home. And
Fortunately, I don't know. They're pretty good. I like it.
I brought it home in my hands like this. And tried to tell him it was a legless lizard and he didn't believe me.
So what you're telling me, Joe, is that you're a responsible free handler from a young age.
Yes. Well, I don't know about responsible, but I didn't have the options that I have now. I live on the East Coast.
Yeah.
So I've gotten older and I start, using hooks.
I use hooks.
Instead of, I don't like the Eastern Browns these days now. They blow the wind up me. And I'm thinking, God, I used to pick these up as a kid.
No fear, though.
No.
You're on, Adam.
Me. So I, similar to Joe, Eastern Blue Tongues were probably the first thing that I ever would bring home. My mum and dad had a similar rule, but it was if it had legs, it could stay for a week. If it didn't have legs, it had to go back straight away. But I grew up in the western suburbs of Melbourne along the Werribee River, so it was blue tongues and tiger snakes down there predominantly. But same sort of thing. Blue tongues home, could keep them for a week, and then just take them back and trade them, I suppose, for the next blue tongue lizard I could find.
I'm just thinking, what if you were born without legs?
Maybe they'd send me home, send me back. I don't know.
Were you guys in herp societies when you were younger? And if you were, does the experience of the herp societies then versus now change?
No, I wasn't.
Right.
I wasn't being in South Australia. Well, actually, I was in a small country town. I don't know if people know it, Kapunda in South Australia. It's on the edge of the Barossa Valley. There's like 1,000 people there. There was probably 4 or 5 of us that used to go out and go looking for reptiles and stuff. So they were sort of my friend group. I was the only girl. But no, there was no sort of herp societies. I had not even heard of a herp society until I moved here.
Yeah, I was pretty much the same. I'd never really heard of a herp society either until I was a bit older when I started going along. So after you'd moved up to Queensland, Scotland, when I started going to the VHS meetings.
Yeah.
You left. There's a comparison there.
Well, it's interesting. So Joe was saying that she was running around chasing up critters around Kapunda. Kapunda is one of the locations that you get Adelaide blue tongues. You might have done the rediscovery and not even known it.
Yeah, I might have. I was out a lot. And one of my favourite places in South Australia to go is Burra Creek Gorge.
There you go.
So World's End Creek. So up there, they've got the blue tongues. So I have never seen one though.
Very, very cool lizards to go and see.
Yeah.
I have gone and seen them, so I'm pretty happy about that. Anyway, while Ty was studiously working at home, I was out going about and looking at big blue tongues.
Story of my life. Did you guys ever expect to be doing what you are now with the herp societies?
Hell no. No. Absolutely
No, not either. Never did I expect to be doing what we do now.
I think I got into it was like moving over here with Michael. He had reptiles and he used to go around to Garth and Vase. And so then I met Garth and Vay, and from there was when they said, oh, come along to the Reptile Society. I had 2 children. My son, Callum, was very much into reptiles. So I just went along, and that's how I got into it.
So your mentors, I'm assuming in your case, Joe, would be sort of Garth and Vay to a point. Is that the case? Or who really sort of mentored you when you came into herbs?
Yeah, I did see Garth and Vay a lot. I don't know. I was sort of a little bit self-taught, living over in South Australia and having that range of reptiles that I had over there and just figuring out what sort of worked with them and what didn't work. And then sort of really Michael as well. Michael knew quite a bit. He was sort of a bit self-taught as well. But then getting into the Reptile Society and meeting people through the Reptile Society. So that's been the best thing for me is the people I've met, such as you guys. I don't think I have any sort of mentors. It's everybody. You know, I can learn stuff from anyone, and I like to learn.
Yeah,
I think Joe's hit the nail on the head. The people we meet as part of the society, I think now forms that bigger network that we can call on and ask for help. But I was obviously, as you guys know, lucky enough to live close to Brian Barnett and be able to call him, drop in and see him weekly, if not more, and ask him any questions I wanted to when I was starting out, asking about breeding and keeping and that sort of stuff. But I think Joe's right that now that we've got that bigger network part of the society, you're comfortable to pick up the phone and ring someone and ask a question now, which just makes life so much easier.
Yeah.
What's your support network like, guys? Have you guys got family and things like that that are helping you out to try and do some of the stuff with regards to societies? I know any volunteer organisation never has enough labour, and the families, unfortunately, just got roped into doing those bits and pieces, cooking the barbecues and ferrying bits and pieces around, and in the older days, mailing out, sticking stamps on stuff. I know Barney was talking about Lani sticking in 700 photos into a magazine at a time. How did that sort of look for you guys? Has your family and friends been able to really help you with doing the stuff in the society?
Adam can go first on this one.
I'll go first. I'm super lucky. My wife is not a herp. She's not into reptiles at all, but she certainly supports me in doing what I do, as far as lets me do what I need to do when I need to do it, and doesn't really ask a whole lot of questions, just like, whatever, do your thing. But I've also built a really good friend network around the society that help with what we can. I think our committee at the moment, everyone has their own strengths in our committee. Everyone has their part to play, and everyone does that, what they need to do really, really well, which makes it easier for everything just to work as it goes. I have 2 kids, one who loves the reptiles, one who couldn't care less unless his mates are over and then he wants to show off his lizards. So, yeah, I'm super lucky that my family are supportive, although probably not as involved as I am, but, yeah, very supportive.
Makes a world of difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, me, family, besides Michael and the kids, anyone who's been to the Reptile Society shows knows how much they help me. Michael, then you got Callum and Brooke when they were younger. Callum still comes, and Brooke sometimes turns up from Wagga and surprises me at the shows and stuff like that. But yeah, they did a hell of a lot when they were younger. Now Ashley and Damon, he's not really into the reptiles. We drag him along herping. Ashley does like them, but they're both, as soon as we've got the show on, they knuckle down. Damon takes over the barbecue and just does the barbecue, and Ashley works very, very hard on the show table, so on the society's table. Then huge friend network now through the Reptile Society. Didn't have these people like Kathy and I couldn't do anything without her. She's my right-hand woman, basically. Everyone needs a Kathy in their lives. And then, yeah, of course, the other committee members. I'm so proud that we've got some younger committee members now, like Kai and Aimee and the other Aimee. It's really, really good. And Cam, having them in there and having them, so hopefully, fingers crossed, they can sort of take over one day would be fantastic.
One day?
Yeah.
You're not doing this forever?
No. No, I hope not. I hope not. It sometimes feels like that. But yeah, I've been doing this now since 2013.
Kai's partner does the cakes, isn't it?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yep. Amy's Cakes.
Amazing cakes. Amazing cakes.
Yeah, go and check her out on, I think it's on Insta. Yeah.
Give that a crack. And I will say this, the barbecue that Illawarra throws on, fucking pretty good, Adam. Just saying.
Yeah.
Hey, mate, I've spent some time on the tongs at Illawarra.
He
Mate,
did, you did.
I did like it, mate.
Yeah, we sort of help each other out, don't we?
Yeah, I suppose the VHS and Illawarra have really sort of connected over the last few years and try to do as much as we can to help each other out. But yeah, we were there on the tongs, and the Illawarra crew came
In other words, you're saying that the Illawarra Herptile Society is like the northern chapter of the VHS, or the VHS is the southern chapter of the Illawarra Herptile Society.
Oh yeah, we're in a club together. I actually nearly wore. You know what you should have done, Adam? You should have worn
my Illawarra shirt.
One, and I would have worn a VHS one.
Yeah.
And then we would have really disappointed just with no video.
No video.
But no, I think last year we went down and helped down the gate at VHS for a little while. I think giving your parents, Scott.
Yeah, you were. My parents were involved. Oh no, I am a member.
You are a
I am
member.
a
I
member of
pay
the
the
society.
bills.
Yeah,
You
sorry.
are.
I am a member of the society. For a long time, I wasn't a member of the society. My parents would still help out. So, well, I mean, I loved it too, to be fair. And so did Mum.
I think we touched on it. So obviously, like Joe and Kathy come down and worked in the gate for us, and then we went back up there and sort of sussed out some ideas that we can do better for our expo next year. So tell your mum and dad I've got some new point of sale machines ready to go for it.
Hey, they'll be keen, mate. I'll give you the tip. They'll be happy. So.
After visiting the Illawarra Expo last year, I think it was, we decided we needed to invest in some upgraded point of sale machines to make it easier at the gate.
Oh, yeah.
Happy to steal ideas in a way that makes our life easier.
Do you guys do like pre-sales and have it so it's just a QR code, you scan the QR code and in you go sort of thing? Is that how you guys are doing it? Or?
Yeah, we do both. So we do pre-sales through Eventbrite, but then we also use like Square terminals as well now that we've got.
So does Eventbrite take money from you, or is it because it's a not-for-profit they don't charge? Or
no, they do, but they generally charge the person who's purchasing the ticket. So that's why we're actually not going to do Eventbrite this year, except for we're having early entry. There you go. Here first. It hasn't been announced anywhere. We're going to have early entry, and that's going to be through Eventbrite.
Is that for people that like to have quiet time, or is that just so people can get
their animals? There's a lot of people who just want to come for their animals, and this year we've got the show, so it's both sides, like the one that you've judged on, Scott, before.
Yep.
So we have the show, so we've got both sides of the stadium. So it will be about getting people in there who just want to purchase animals and stuff, getting them in that side, not in the show side. So the show side will open to the public at 10 o'clock. We'll probably be looking at 9 o'clock start for the other side. So the breeders better be on their ball as well. So, sorry, breeders, you heard it here first. There's going to be an early entry. Well, it's first.
The thing is, though, right? When we were at the Ham Expo, if you wanted to get kicked out of the Ham Expo, you did any trades before they opened. So there was no trading going on between.
There totally was.
Yeah, but if they were caught, they were fucked and they were out. Yeah. So it was fair to everybody. It pushed people to get there early because there was no trades to be done until the place was open.
Yeah, but having said that, it was hours before they got in because the line was massive.
Yeah.
So I think it defeats the purpose.
Yeah. So it'll be like Eventbrite for that, but we've dropped Eventbrite for our actual online sales because we were just finding where we are, we can't use the other doors because that's an actual a fire exit. So we can't use those other doors for getting people in quickly. So because it's a fire exit, we can't use that for getting people in quickly. So they're all going up the same thing, and it's just too much of a pain in the ass just getting them through that door. And it's just charging people more. So I prefer people to save their money and spend it in there.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
When it comes to the society and expos, when do you guys get most of your planning done? Is night owls or early birds?
After the last expo's finished. It starts planning like we straight away go, all right, when we go down to VHS, and it's like Adam was saying, you get ideas when you go to other ones. And so it's sort of a continuous thing over the year. But when we get our flyer done, sort of November, December time, we've got a president's chat as well, where we can all put in there when our expos or shows are going to be. We do actually talk.
Is that just with the New South Wales guys, or you got ruffians like Adam in there too?
Yeah, I'm in that group as well. So I think we try our best not to double up on expos and stuff like that. I think one of the things that we face at the VHS is we're really limited to dates we can have our expo, because the venue will sort of say, hey, this is the date you can have. They don't come to us and go, here's 10 dates. I suppose being a not-for-profit organisation, we're not there to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars at some of these other events they hold there do spend. So we sort of get what's left over.
Makes it a bit tough.
Yeah, it makes it tough. As soon as we've got a date penciled in, we'll try to communicate that to all the other societies first, and so everyone can go, at least know when we're going to have our expo. I don't know if we actually answered your question there, but...
That's all right.
I'm definitely an early bird, and my wife hates it.
I'm an early bird too.
Yeah, I'm not.
She's not.
In my defense, I go to bed at like 3, 4, 5 a.m. So
Well, that is an early bird because I'm not even up at that time.
yeah.
Look at that.
Like,
No,
yeah.
I get up. Our alarm goes off for Michael at about 5:45.
She doesn't usually get up before 2 in the afternoon.
Some idiot rings me on his way to work. I'm up well before then.
He threw out a line and he got a big one.
How do you guys balance life and work and reptile societies? Must be hard.
It's a tough question to answer. To be completely honest, I think the VHS have got better at planning stuff in advance. So realistically, the biggest amount of work for me comes late Jan, Feb, trying to put the finishing touches on the expo. If we can balance the other meetings out, we don't meet as often as other societies. We only meet quarterly, which I think makes it a bit easier for us to organise because there's less meetings to organise. But I also think it increases our attendance because there's less of them, so more people are likely to make the effort to come to those fewer meetings. But yeah, for me, it's really the last 2 weeks and the next 4 weeks would be chaos for me trying to organise the expo. But like I said, my wife is pretty supportive and knows that I'm probably going to lock myself in the study for a few nights a week. And
While Barney was doing the society, mate, they were doing 3 a year and they didn't have an expo. And I think that's why the VHS got such huge numbers when it came to the meetings. Their average attendance at a meeting would be 200 people, but it was because you weren't seeing each other for 4 months of the year. So it forced people to go along to them, I think.
Yeah, so we've gone to 4 meetings and an expo. We probably average around 80 people to a meeting now.
Yeah.
So still decent numbers, but obviously not the good old days before the internet was a thing and everyone was just on YouTube and Google and whatever else. But yeah, our key is to get the dates locked away early and try to get our speakers locked in as soon as possible.
As a speaker, well, I shouldn't use that term because I don't, but as someone who stands beside you while you talk, 200 would be terrifying.
400 is even worse. But anyway. Joe, yourself, how do you find it?
It's getting tougher. It's getting tougher now. When I started this, I had very younger children. I had 4 young children that I had to manage. But now I've got work, uni, the kids still. Yeah.
How much longer you got left in your degree? It can't be too much longer.
Oh, don't even go there at the moment. It's like
hang on. I'll do it for you.
I do a bit of uni, and then I get really, really swamped because stupid me likes to do 150 million things at once. And then I go, nah, can't do this. I'm just going to work because I'm doing like sort of 40, 50 hours a week at the moment with work. Then we are still having society meetings, and we did back it off last year. We were having sort of bi-monthly meetings, and we actually found our attendance has dropped.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're having less meetings and there's less people coming to them. So don't know if that's a different thing, but like in Victoria, there's one reptile society. In New South Wales, there is 5 or 6 of them. So it just makes it a little bit more difficult. Kathy's really, really good. I couldn't do it without the team behind me as well if I need something done. So like we're doing advertising. We've got the Sydney Reptile Expo is this weekend. My family are over here. My mum and dad are over here. And then we've got Brooke will be down as well. I can't go. So I just sent out a message to everyone and said, is anybody going up to Sydney? Can they just do what I normally do with just handing out the flyers to stallholders?
Yeah.
So, yeah, but do it in the morning sort of thing. But to my advantage, I've been doing this since 2013. I know what I'm doing. I've got everything on template and everything else. I've had breeders messaging me this week. It's like, oh, when are you getting the paperwork out? Yeah, I'll get it done when I get it done. I think because we've got such a bigger area as well, I don't have to really rush. We have the same sort of people that come every year.
So what's the most difficult thing about running a herp society? And go with you, Joe, and then follow on with that.
For me, it'd be getting speakers in, probably. Getting the speakers in, trying to find people. Because we're a family herp society, we've got kids there, so we need to be mindful that we don't sort of want the very big scientific ones, because otherwise the kids get bored and they just make noise and people aren't that interested. You know, kids are the future of the hobby, so we want to make it so that the kids are enjoying it as well.
Yeah.
So getting speakers in, I know it'd be a lot easier if we did it sort of before a year or something. But yeah, I just don't know. I don't know. Getting speakers in is the hard thing. Then with the expo or the show, dealing with people who message me and go, I don't want to be next to this person. Can you put me next to this person? I don't want to be anywhere near this person.
That wouldn't happen, Joe, surely.
It's the hobby. Everyone loves everybody. Come on.
Oh, I wish that was true, but every single year I get some drama with somebody, and I can understand there is personalities, and I'll always try. Luckily, we've got the space, so that takes me the time. It does get hard when people fall out of it with each other who were friends the year before. But yeah,
the other way too, as well. You can have people that you didn't necessarily get along with at one point, and then you find actually that you really actually do get along with those people.
Yeah, it works both ways. It works both ways. Sometimes, yeah, that's the thing. I'll get everyone asking me for the freaking floor plan. And I was like, people change. I get cancellations the day beforehand and stuff like that. So don't ask me for a floor plan. Just come.
You don't do a floor plan?
Do, but it generally changes about 3 or 4 times in the last week. So what's the point in putting it up public?
Yeah, 100%.
I still get people ask me every year and sort of go, oh, is this person going to be here? What breeders are going to be there? And blah, blah, blah. And generally on Facebook sort of highlight some of the breeders that are going to be there. But yeah, generally I won't put a floor plan up because it just changes. It just changes in the last week.
Have you heard the word no?
She's a
Have
bummer.
you heard the word people pleaser?
Yes.
What about you, Sap? What's the go there?
I think trying to make everyone happy is always impossible.
Mm-hmm.
And I suppose when I first started as president and running Expos, and I used to take the feedback really personally. And I was like, you know what? There was however many thousand people turn up and 2 people decided to get on Facebook and have a whinge. So I've stopped taking that personally now. It doesn't really bother me anymore. But yeah, the floor plan's a big one. And I suppose trying to get people to understand that we're a volunteer-run organisation. Every committee member has a full-time job.
Mm-hmm.
We have families, we have friends, we have other things we have to do.
And we don't get paid for this.
Mm-hmm.
No, we don't get paid, and I might not reply to your email for 2 or 3 days, but I'll promise you I'll get to it when I have 5 minutes to sit down and look at it. But yeah, I think that's probably the toughest one for me is getting people to understand that we are doing the best we can and we're not getting paid for it. I'm not sitting here 9 to 5 at a desk just doing VHS stuff.
And time flies. Your kids grow up so fast. When it's gone, it's gone. Like, spend as much as you can with them.
Oh yeah, bugger that.
I'd have both of mine back home in an instant with their partner.
Yeah, so would I, but yeah. I think that's the thing is people go to a lot, and especially in New South Wales, there's quite a lot of expos being run. There's quite a few now that are run for profit, but there is only a couple around now where we're full volunteer run, where none of us get paid for this.
Yeah.
None of us get paid.
So
And the Expo for us in Victoria is the only event we hold that actually makes money. But then that money's got to pay for every other meeting we have.
Yeah.
So if we're going to fly internationals or interstate speakers down for meetings, the Expo has to cover that cost. That's all there is to it, because we don't make any money any other way, really.
Yeah.
And it needs to cover enough money to cover the next one. We need to make that money, and that all just goes straight into the bank account. None of it goes into our pockets.
Is there and so going off script here, all right? Is there
Surprise, surprise.
just to be fucking clear, is there a way that, because both VHS and Illawarra are not-for-profits, is there a way that you guys can enter into a commercial agreement to split the costs on, like, flying into
Oh yeah, Adam and I have already spoken about that.
So you guys could do that as well, because I think that might certainly help your numbers for people attending down at Illawarra, Joe.
I think it's also as well Central Coast as well. So Pete and Joe, or Central Coast Herp Society as well. We've been talking about that. We spoke about that at the dinner last year, didn't we, Adam?
Yeah, we did.
About
Yeah,
three of us.
So it's about just trying to get our ducks lined up to make sure our meetings fall at similar times and organise these speakers and split the costs. And it's certainly something that's happened in the past, and I'm sure it'll continue to happen.
Yeah, fair enough. Amazing. Well, you get to hear it here first, I suppose. The other part that I wanted to add to that, we spoke about the negative shit about the societies. And I know you don't get to have a paid and all the rest of it, but there are some perks to being in the Herp Society. So, Joe, what's the best thing you've got to do as a Herp Society president? And then same thing to you, Adam.
Do you mean apart from visit Illawarra?
And apart from
Oh, nicely done, fellas.
meeting people, meeting like-minded people.
Yeah,
that's what I think. I think it's a bit freaky. Like I've been up to like Expos in Queensland, and I've been to ones down in Victoria. And then when you get people who come up to you and go, "Are you Joe Payne from the Illawarra Reptile Society?" and I'm just like, "Oh, okay." I think that's pretty good when somebody knows who you are. It shows that they've actually taken some time to learn about what the Reptile Society does.
Yeah.
And then for me, it's having the kids at the shows and having them at the meetings, teaching that new generation and watching them. You guys would know, you guys, Ty and Scott especially, you've been coming to the shows as well, seeing all the kids growing up. I took Damon when he was 7 days old to his first Christmas show with the Illawarra, and he's now 15.
Yeah.
So watching the kids grow up and seeing photos come up on Facebook of memories and going, "Oh, look how small they were." And they're still involved with the society and still got that interest there. That's what keeps me going, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see kids, young kids, or they were young kids, and they're mature young herpers that have gone from super excited, gingerly sending messages and making phone calls and stuff like that, which, in some ways we were as well at one point.
You were never polite. Come on.
Yeah, I was never ginger about it either. And
I heard you described as a pest before.
I describe myself as a fucking pest.
And there's no before about it. He still is.
I was 100% a pest, particularly to poor Barney. But at the same time, it was people like that did foster that love for herps and all the rest of it. And
and I admire them now. I see their stuff on Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that, like Jessie Campbell, like Brooks, all them, even Dan.
Don't dry that.
Dan from Symbio. I've known Dan since he was young. I've known Dan for a long time. He was sort of like 20, 21 years old when I first met Dan. Now, seeing him.
They're all still children, Joe. They're children, little kids. They're little kids. They're children.
They're little kids.
Half about fucking future girls.
But yeah, I admire them. I love seeing the stuff that they're doing. And the other week we had Jessie come down and do a talk for the club. And that was so cool. I was like, I sat there and I'm just like in awe.
He's got a decent mullet too. Were you in awe of the mullet? Is that what it was?
They all have.
Yeah.
Jai has as well. No, Jai's is gone now.
That bloody time we stopped looking like a hippie.
But last time you came down and we all went out herping, and you've got these people like admiring and going, "Oh my God, that's Scott, that's Scott, that's Scott. Look, Scott, look what I've caught."
Yeah.
That was so cool.
Yeah, they were only catching bugs and insects there, weren't they?
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
Only bugs and insects.
Yeah.
But no, it's amazing to have those interactions with people like that. And Jai's a lot of fun. He's very enthusiastic and he can take a decent photo too for a young fella. He's getting there. So what about yourself, Adam?
Yeah, same as Joe. The people you get to meet, I've been super lucky to meet some amazing people, and then obviously travel to different parts of Australia and catch up with people in herp, and then also internationally as well. So obviously the international stuff is all paid for by me. The VHS isn't funding any of these trips, but just the VHS is that platform to meet people. And really build relationships and friendships all around the world. And likewise with the kids, seeing the kids grow up. I've been lucky enough that my daughter has been accepted into the VHS and people just treat her as another one of the members. To see her first expo, I can't even remember how long ago she was at her first expo. And I remember after the expo, just looking at her and just thinking about how proud I was. I don't even know how old she was. She would have been like probably 6 or 7 maybe. And she stayed the entire day with me, didn't complain once, helped pack up, was at the VHS table the whole day, and now she's still the same. Like, still loves coming to the expo, loves promoting it to her friends at school. I don't know if her friends at school like hearing about reptiles all day, every day, but even to the point that some of her friends have even started coming to the expos and stuff like that. When we speak about kids growing up and then doing talks, obviously we had young Josh when he was a 8 or 10-year-old kid coming to meetings, and then I did a talk last year for us, watching them grow and become young adults. And as Joe said, hopefully one day we'll take over the reins and I can retire.
Speaking of Josh, I'll give him a little shout out. He literally just presented at the Ecological Society of Victoria, I think it was, their conference just recently, and had a poster come up for that, talking about his honours work looking at feral proof fences and how they assist in reptile conservation. Here's a guy that was fostered by the VHS that moved through the VHS that's now gone into herp research and seems to be doing a really good job with it. So, Josh, if you listen to this, well done, mate. Glad that no fox is scared you while you're doing your work.
The old fox story.
Bear. Share with us something you guys have done or organised that you were the proudest of as your time as president, and what sets that above anything else that you've done?
Our conservation, being able to donate to conservation efforts. So we donated, I think it was, that was a few years ago, for the Bellingen River turtles.
Yeah.
And then we did a large donation to Croc, and last year, the year before, where they put like the little satellite trackers on the back of 10 crocodiles, and they were able to track the crocodiles. They're trying to look at something along the lines of, or they were trying to look along something along the lines of with the sharks. You know how the sharks get tagged and then they go past a beach and it detects them?
Yeah.
So doing something like that for the crocodiles and seeing if they could do maybe fences so that to stop them. What did they bring up? Something sort of like where Lake Placid, where that used to be, a lot of people used to use that, and it's now not able to be used because of the crocodiles in there. Maybe having some sort of virtual gate on it where if the crocs are tagged, where it stopped them there, or it would beep if a croc came to the lake, sort of thing. So I think that's what I'm most proud of, is what we've been able to do with the society, is the research stuff that we've been able to, and conservation stuff that we've been able to do, been able to donate to.
The grassland and Eels Dragon stuff that you guys have do as well has been pretty amazing too.
Yeah, well, we've done that for 2 years.
Symbiote doing the fundraising and stuff.
Yeah, we've done that for the past 2 years. So raising, I think we've raised, I think it's about 20,000 now.
Yep.
We've raised $20,000 towards them going out and researching and trying to find the Bathurst Eels Dragon. So yeah, doing that sort of stuff, working in tandem with places like Symbio. The team up at Symbio are fantastic and amazing, and there's a hell of a lot of them that are members of the club as well, which is really good. Love having that close relationship.
Oh.
I think for us, we'd like to do more of that conservation stuff and fundraising. We've done a bit more recently with some different people, and Croc was one of them as well. We had raised some money for. But I think for me, there was a couple of years ago where one of our expos was really touch and go, where a hire company went bust and took all our money about a month out from the expo. So a lot of people don't actually know that this one went down, but about 4 weeks before our expo, we had no hire, we had no tables, no chairs, and the company went bust and took our money. But to get that expo off the ground took a massive effort for us to find a new hire company and be able to coordinate with them and get it delivered and set up in time. So for me, and I couldn't have done it without the rest of the committee, but that Sunday morning after the expo, I can't believe we actually got this off the ground and got it done. So from a VHS point of view, definitely that was probably one of the toughest expos we've ran, but the general public wouldn't have known any different.
That's huge. That would have been so deflating too.
Yeah.
But you guys are like the bearers of bad news. You have companies go bust. You have grandstands burned down just before expos. You know?
Wow.
Yeah, well, isn't that where you grew up?
Yeah, I know. What are you saying, that I tried to set the place alight when I was a kid?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, the fire at Caulfield last year, Caulfield were great to work with, and we're open and honest about it the whole way through. So that come off really well last year.
All right, guys, the big one. Do you want to tell our listeners what's involved in organising an expo?
Grey hair.
Swear word.
No, like I said, the first few years was an absolute nightmare, and not many people know that. It's basically Kathy and I who did it with setting up everything. But I now know what we're doing. So like we get the flyer out before Christmas, and then the end of January, early February, sometimes late February, we normally get the paperwork out, depending on when the show is. This year, the show is later. So we're in May this year. So we've got a little bit of extra time. So that's why the paperwork isn't out yet, for anybody who's thinking, well, we should have our paperwork by now. Kathy generally does the animals on the show side, whereas I look after all the breeders and the retail and all that sort of stuff and the sponsors. So yeah, it's just about getting word out there. I send the emails out. I've got the same people that I really send to every year, just got them in the emails and just send them all off. The paperwork generally hasn't changed. Our table prices have not changed since I started doing this.
Wow, that's insane.
So our prices for our tables, for our breeders, are still the same as what they were in 2013.
Wow.
Yeah. Retail has gone up, but not by a lot either. So, yeah, it just really hasn't. Yes, we need to make that money, but it's also about making it, because we're a little bit further away from Sydney, about making it manageable for those people north of Sydney and stuff to be able to get down. So we keep the prices down. Yeah, just sending out the paperwork, and then I have to get in touch with national parks. I have to give them all the information that they need, and then a couple of weeks out I need to send them a breeder list with all people's names on it who are going to be selling animals, and then they come back with a yes or no. Mostly it's pretty good. Now, I have a very, very good working relationship with national parks now, and it's fairly smooth.
Awesome.
I think much the same down in Vic. We're getting pretty good at running expos these days. Most of the forms and paperwork are all just carried across from last year. We're getting a bit tech savvy down here in Vic with OneDrive and things like that, and shared drives and stuff, so we can all work on a shared spreadsheet to make life a little bit easier. Again, we've got to contact the department to apply to have the event approved. So we have to, again, supply the information of who's going to be there, who's selling what, and then we also send back returns to the department of who actually sold what. So
yeah, we don't have to do that.
Yeah, and then as Joe said, probably the next biggest thing is just the phone calls or emails to people. Each year we've tried something a little bit different to make it easier. This year, for example, we had an online form where people could express interest, which worked well. Obviously, there just needs to be some tweaking with that for next year around if you've already filled it in once, you don't need to fill it in 4 times. We'll get to you, I promise. But yeah, every year we try to find something different. And as I said, going up to Illawarra last year or the year before to get some more ideas and have a chat to Joe and Kathy around, hey, what works for you guys and what have you tried and what didn't work. I think the stuff that doesn't work is as important as the stuff that did work, because if it didn't work for Illawarra, there's a good chance it's not going to work for Victoria. But yeah, I suppose that's the biggest thing for us, is just contacting people. And then the floor plan, as Joe said, there's always going to be someone who doesn't want to be next to someone, or someone who doesn't like someone, or someone who's had a falling out. And we're much the same. We will release a floor plan, but it'll be that very last week before the event. But no doubt we'll still get emails saying when a ticket's available, when's the floor plan going up, who's selling what. And as Joe said, people cancel last minute for different reasons. We just do our best. And this year, the floor plan will stay pretty similar. Obviously, a new venue last year, moving from the showgrounds to Caulfield Racecourse. So this year will be a little bit easier because we've already got an existing floor plan. It's just a case of making a few minor changes to who's where.
Are you usually able to fill the last minute cancellations?
Yeah, so down in Vic, we've got a few people that put their hand up and say, hey, if someone cancels, I'll fill a spot. So a few of the not-for-profits have asked for X amount of tables, and we've given them what we can fit in at the moment. But generally, if someone cancels, we'll look to expand those other not-for-profit organisations to fill those tables.
I just spread them.
I
just give them more space. Spread them. Generally, we've got enough room anyway. Expos, because it's only one side, we're a bit squishy, so that's better. I suppose it's not better when people cancel, but we just tend to be able to fill a spot anyway. One thing for you, Adam, we have where any other reptile society can come, any other herp society can come, anything like that comes, and we don't charge them for a table.
We don't charge any not-for-profits for tables.
Yeah.
So if they're a not-for-profit, if they're a school, as we've said, there's no other reptile societies as such down in Victoria. Any of the schools, government organisations that are not there to make profit, then yeah, we don't charge them at all for tables.
Yeah, we don't charge. We have FATS and the other reptile societies that come, and we always just say, yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
If you could stress one thing to a new stall holder, what would it be?
Be patient with us. We've done it before, and generally we've got it right.
Bring your own cables, power boards. Bring your own stuff. So, right, tablecloths. Yeah, lights.
Tablecloths is an interesting one because
things I get asked for every single year is just ridiculous.
We used to supply tablecloths, but then one year there was like 30 go missing, and those hire companies charge like $40 per tablecloth.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're like, no, you bring your own tablecloths. Read your paperwork as well, so you know what's expected.
Mm-hmm.
We're on basketball courts.
Oh,
If the courts get scratched,
yeah.
you're going to get a bill. You're going to get a bill. So read all your paperwork, but ask questions. Come and find us. Have a chat with us. I'm pretty open.
Give yourself enough time to set up.
Yeah.
Don't run in at 5 to 9 and go, I've just got to set my table up.
Because you're battling 1,000 odd people that are waiting to come in anyway as well.
How do you handle security before the expos and stuff like that? As a vendor for us, like that's something that's a concern of ours. If we are putting $10,000 worth of reptile books on a table, how do we make sure that nobody pinches the fucking things?
Ultimately, sorry, that's your responsibility.
Yeah.
We do have security guards. We have 2 security guards. And then if you've seen our committee members, we have quite a few guys that are there as well. We have had stuff that's been stolen before where they've been able to alert a committee member, and then we've alerted the security guards on the front.
Mm-hmm.
It is probably one thing that I think is probably one of our biggest expenses at the new venue, just the sheer number of guards they insist we have. So it's all in-house through them. But we've got, I think it's 4 guards at the actual venue plus 2 guards at the front door. We do our best and have security guards there. And if the security guards fails, we've got Grant.
I got an envision out of a donk out of Crocodile Dundee then for a second. So.
What's your biggest pet peeves when it comes to organising an expo?
I think most of that's been covered already. People that sort of expect us to drop everything and accommodate them.
Yeah.
We do try and do our best to accommodate people, but like Adam says, you can't please everyone, but I can do a really good job of pissing everybody off. A couple of stall holders will get a laugh out of that one because they do. I did threaten somebody who we all know this year. I said, if you don't be quiet, I'll put you somewhere where you don't want to be going.
I think for me, the biggest one that annoys me is we do our best, as Joe said, to accommodate everyone. But if you email me 2 days before the event and say I want a table and I say I can't do it, not because I don't want to do it, but because we can't get the paperwork to the department in time. We can't get approval from the department. And then all of a sudden online, it's my fault that I didn't do something. It's like, well, if you had have come to me earlier, we could have done something. We could have maybe worked it out. But don't email me 2 days before the event and say, I want a table. I didn't know how to book a table.
Yeah, we had that at one of our events. The demonstrator came in, didn't have his paperwork in order for DPI, and then got put very relatively close to actually the invasive council. It wasn't actually DPI themselves. Well, it is, but a different department, and walked out, and then went online and slammed the Reptile Society and the committee for putting him there.
The thing is, they're advertised long enough for anyone to have enough notice to either do their research or get in contact, one or the other. There's no excuse.
Talk, communicate.
So we've all seen the odd table, shall we say, at a reptile expo over the years. What is the oddest one that you guys have had someone go, hey, you know what, I want to sell fairy dust or whatever it might be? What's the weirdest thing you've had that someone's decided they wanted to have a table at an expo for?
Do you know the one that surprised me? And it wasn't odd or anything. It was just, I couldn't believe how big that hobby was.
Yeah.
And she's no longer doing it anymore, but Queen of Ants. I didn't realise how many people out there kept ants as pets.
Yeah, okay.
Oh.
And how big her stand was. And she had like some cool displays. Like she had some really cool stuff. I even thought about buying ants. Like it was all these like acrylic printed like 3D like cube things with ants in it. I was like, when she first emailed about wanting a table, I'm like, who's buying ants? That's probably one that I've gone, that's surprised me how busy they were selling ants.
You had bees last year as well, someone with bees, didn't you? Was it you who had it? Yeah. No?
No.
There was like a beekeeper there? There was. It was at your one.
I should know that, but I don't know.
I'm sure it was at yours. I know a big
You want that bit edited out, Adam?
The one that's,
there was a beekeeper down by where the monitors were that we bought, down that sort of towards the stage side. Sure he was there.
Stop talking, Joe.
There you go. You're making me look bad, Joe. You're making me look bad.
Edit that out.
Certainly for me, the weirdest thing I've ever seen was organic honey and jam and stuff like that. And it's like not unusual to see at a
Sunday
market or something like that. but it seemed completely out of fucking place at a reptile expo. I was like, oh, yeah, I think they sold a bit of stuff, but hey, at the same time, I was like, yeah, that's really, really different.
I think we are seeing a more diverse range now, though, of people coming in with different hobbies. We're seeing more people selling art and paintings, and we've got one table coming this year. They specialise in vinyl stickers.
We have a crocheter.
Reptile jewellery.
Okay.
It makes sense though. People that are interested in reptiles, like a dog or a cat, you like things about your reptiles, so you would buy art or shirts or jewelry or whatnot.
3D printing is becoming much bigger.
It is. We've got one from Victoria who comes up to us.
Yeah.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3D printing.
He's booked into our expo again.
Yeah, I think he's booked into ours as well. But we have someone who crochets. So they did a massive crocodile.
Yes.
It's actually Cam, who is one of our committee members, his wife, Cass. She is brilliant, and you've got to go and see him because she did a massive crocodile. She does octopus and stuff like that, and it's really interesting. And it takes her, like, if you've ever tried crocheting,
Yes, I do. Yeah.
holy hell, I thought, yep, that's it. I'm going to crochet.
10 years on
myself.
a blanket, apparently.
Fuck.
God, no. Holy hell, crocheting is hard.
It is, yeah. I shouldn't say I crochet. That's a bit loose. I can do a few stitches. I can't actually do a
I
lot
do
of
about
stitches.
4 stitches and then I lose my shit and just pull the whole thing apart.
Oh, I'm a bit
No
better.
patience for that.
Ty's been making me a blanket for the last 10 years.
He lives in fucking Queensland. He doesn't need a blanket. People we know keep having babies, so I make one for them, and then he starts bitching that he still doesn't have his blanket.
He needs it for when he goes down to Victoria.
And the ants we're bringing at him. What would you like to organise, but you haven't?
I think you guys and I have spoke about this in the past. I think we're a not-for-profit organisation. I think we can do more to support up-and-coming herpers, students, or organisations, other organisations that aren't as fortunate as us to have some cash in the bank. And I think that's something I really want to try to work on is how do we give back more than we do and make it fair. And yeah, that's probably one of the things I want to look at.
That's awesome.
I don't know. I can't think of anything at the moment. I actually, if you know what I'd like to do, I'd like to be able to have a show that's as big and has as many people through the door as those big American and European ones.
Yeah.
I would love to organise, say, 2-3 day expo where you're getting tens of thousands of people through.
I think, though, that's not going to happen here.
No,
Having
I
been
don't
to
think
Europe, you don't realise how close everything is and how
It is.
far apart everything is here until you're actually somewhere else, and then you're like, shit, it's not normal to drive a couple of hours and then be somewhere completely different.
I'm sure they were only small to start with.
I think at the same time, if
There's-
you look at,
The restrictions too.
we use ham as an example.
Mm.
It's been going for 40 years. Where it is in Germany there, people travel from all across Europe to attend. They travel from Asia, they travel from the US every year. And so you've got dedicated people from across the globe that attend that expo.
Mm.
Also, within 500 kilometres of that expo, you've probably got 24 cities that are over 1 million people.
Yeah.
And when you put that into perspective, how many people would you have maximum within 500 Ks of the Illawarra Expo? You've got Canberra and you've got Sydney as your two major centres. In regards to Adam, you've got Geelong and the Greater Melbourne area. You're not going to have those numbers. You just don't have those physical numbers of people to be able to pull that off, I suppose.
And two, travel here is not cheap.
No.
I look at travel here and then think, I can go to Bali for a week on that.
We were only talking about this last week. I saw there was a trip on I think I put it up on my Facebook page. There was a trip on the GAN. I think it was only like for 4 or 5 nights. And it was like $4,500 each. And then we've looked at going to Indonesia, going to Singapore, going to Borneo, and it's not going to cost that much to go for 2 weeks.
And you see a whole different culture, a whole different range of herbs that you wouldn't normally see here.
Yeah.
You can fly your whole family to Bali and do a couple of nights chasing reptiles with one of those organisations for $4,000 and have your whole family there.
Yeah. And then we did that 2-week trip up to Cairns the other year, and that cost us 2 weeks, $10,000 for the 4 of us.
Holy fuck, yeah.
We didn't camp it. We stayed in places. Stayed in Lockhart River. It's not like we stayed in expensive places, like flashy places. We were just staying like Lockhart was pretty by the airport there. It's like Donga's out in the middle of a paddock. It was pretty rough in some places, but it was still very, very, very expensive.
Yeah. I get Tourism Australia, rah, 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 but there's not really any incentive for the prices so high.
And even just the price of fuel these days. We drove to Cairns, or we drove to Cape York and back, and even just the price of fuel is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I love Western Australia, but Western Australia was like coming from Queensland. God, that was expensive. And I'd love to do Tasmania, but too expensive again.
There's lots of free camps in Tasmania, though.
I'm old and fat. My back doesn't do camping as well as it used to.
I'm old and fat, and you can do it. You sound like Kathy.
He's not fat or old, actually. Or old.
Have either of you guys attended an international expo?
I would love to. Do you want to pay for it, Scott?
I think you misunderstand how royalties work.
So I was still waiting for the +1 invite to the ham show, but that's okay.
Yeah.
He had to take his wife. Sorry, Adam.
I'm not prepared. I'm not going to get political, but I'm not prepared to go to America at the moment, so it would be going to Europe.
Yeah.
I would love to go to Tinley, but not the way things are over there at the moment.
Interestingly enough, it looks like some of the biggest shows now that are being done are actually being done in China.
Yeah.
I was talking to Birchie about it. Apparently, some of those shows are absolutely insane.
He's huge in China. He's huge.
He's very tall. He is tall. I'll give you that.
He's huge over in China.
The thing is with him, though, he's such a wholesome personality. He's so energetic when he gets behind the camera. For a YouTuber, he's been doing things a very long time. And before he was doing the YouTube, he was doing a really good job breeding a lot of Australian reptiles.
Still is. Seeing some of the stuff he's been putting up the last few days, it's like, holy shit. King is still going strong.
100%. He's so fucking humble about it as well. Like, he said, oh, yeah, I'll just breed a few things here and there. It's like, and he tells you the numbers and it's like,
that's not a few things.
Boggles my fucking mind.
A few things.
He certainly seems to be a bit more active again now, going to expos, selling stuff at expos again.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. They've also got their other thing as well, a bit of plug, because Central Coast Reptile Society and everything. But they've restarted up Central Coast Reptile Society, so people need to get out and support that as well.
Yeah.
But not only that, they've still got the Africa tours as well. They've got another Africa tour coming up. I think it's in September.
Yeah, September for Africa, and I think maybe June for China.
Yeah.
I'll send you to go.
And how are you going to look after my dog?
I've got a government job now. I'll work from home.
Probably won't after that comment.
Had a government job.
Fucking hell.
It was good while it lasted.
Hey.
You guys could change one thing about our industry. What would it be?
Can I be controversial?
Go for it.
Ego. Like,
Yeah.
I think, Illawarra and the VHS have got a really good working relationship now. The Central Coast Society. I just don't understand why it has to be a competition. Why can't we all just come together to promote the greater hobby rather than who shows better, who has this, who doesn't have that, who's got more money in the bank? Who cares? We all got into the hobby for the same reason. Why can't we all just get along and help each other out? And it's not about who's making more money, who's got more attendance, who's got this, who's got that.
Yeah.
Just work together to promote the hobby.
I think the ones that have those sorts of issues, the ones that are insecure in themselves.
Or the ones who are making money from it, who are not like us, they aren't volunteer.
Yeah.
They're making money from it, so they've got to put other people down so that people maybe come to theirs instead.
Definitely.
But I have to agree with Adam. Ego. Ego is the worst thing.
In your opinion, what would be one of the most crucial personality traits that one would have to do the sort of stuff that you guys do and to do it well?
Patience.
Patience, yeah.
I think I have quite a bit of patience. I'm pretty unflappable. I won't put up with somebody being nasty.
Definitely.
But patience, resilience.
And I think the thing for me with that is, and I said before that we'll get back to you, like when you send me an email or send me 3 emails in a week, we'll get back to you. I think it's just about understanding that to that person, the most important thing for them at the moment is to get their table booked.
Yeah.
And to them, that's the most important part of their day today is how do I get his table booked? I'll send Adam 3 emails and maybe he'll respond, but I'll get to it. Like I said, I've got a full-time job, wife, kids, friends, family, that sort of stuff. But I think, the patience is around understanding that. But that's all that person wants to do is get some sort of confirmation that they've been heard or their email's been received, I suppose.
I suppose no one knows what everyone else thinks or feels and can't put themselves in their shoes. So
what sort of day they've had.
Yeah. Regarding an expo or a show, what's the best compliment you guys have ever received?
Kids that come running up to me and going, oh my God, I just saw this, or I just saw that, or I just saw this. That is fantastic. That's what I live for. We generally have a quieter time where Kathy and I both work. We both have that experience with neurodivergence, people who sort of struggle with loud noises and lots of people, and they really want to come to the expos, but then they're worried about how they manage that. So we just try and manage it around them and say, hey, look, come at a later time. And we generally walk around with them then as well. And to see the looks on their faces and the smiles and how happy they are. And people who've gone and bought their first bearded dragon, and they come up to me on the way out with their little container with their bearded dragon in it, and they go, look what we got. And it's just like, oh, that's makes me
enthusiasm.
Yeah
I think for me, it's probably when our guests, either international or interstate, will come up to us after the event and tell us how welcome they felt and how enjoyable it was for them. I think that obviously then helps us getting further speakers. If you guys come to Melbourne and felt like you were treated poorly, or hey, you're going to go back home and tell people, hey, get down to the VHS. So I think to get those compliments from our guest speakers, I think that really is nice to hear, that they've felt welcome, and that's what we try to do. So
you both do that very well.
You got me a palmy, mate. That's all you need.
There you go.
Palmy's all you need, mate.
It's going to make a very dirty comment then and caught myself. So we've sort of covered this, but there might be a different answer. What would be the biggest gripe from the general public that's out of your hands?
Not so much now, but at our old venue, parking.
Okay,
We couldn't control the cost of parking at our old venue. We've been able to negotiate the price of parking with our new venue now to be included in our normal costs. Again, that's sort of stuff that is out of our control. When our old venue decided to charge people $25 to park their car, that was out of our control.
Yeah.
We don't make any money off that. We don't see a cent of that. That's just them making more money.
Yeah.
But it doesn't happen now because the new venue's been really good with us and been able to come to the party with a parking arrangement.
That's really good.
Lining up.
Yeah.
Again, patience with the lining up and getting people in. You've seen the lineups for Illawarra when it's getting 9:30 time.
Yeah.
It's back round through the car park. We don't have a problem with car parking. We've got plenty of car parking, and they've got open areas at the back that they can open up if that gets a bit crowded. But yeah, getting people just through those front doors can sometimes take a while.
The rough part too with that is that it's not only that, but then you've also got the things that are involved regarding weather. So if it's incredibly hot or it's cold or raining, having people standing in the rain for hours on end is a good way to get people very upset very fucking quickly.
Touch wood, we haven't had that. Generally, the Illawarra weather in sort of April, May is normally pretty stable. Do you know what we've had? I think we've had 3 or 4 recently where there's been rain the day before, and we're just like, oh, hell. There was one where there was a flood went through and we had committee members out the back because there was red-bellied black snake out the back because it was washing into the creek. But yeah, it's generally just trying to get people through those doors.
I think the last expo you guys came to, Scott and Ty, I think the last expo you guys come to, it was like 42 degrees or something. Was that you guys?
It was warm, yes.
It was really nice weather. People were complaining about the heat. I don't know why they were complaining about the heat. It was beautiful.
They were probably drinking water too.
No, to be fair, we helped bloody pack up, or we were helping pack up and all the rest of it when we were there too, in the heat with everybody else. So, no, it was nice. It was good weather.
I don't know. Melbourne weather's weird for me. Not a fan of all the weather in one day.
But at the same time, if you don't like the weather, wait 10 minutes, it changes anyway. So.
True.
It will, yep.
All right, guys, we've got 60 seconds under the basking spot for both of you. Android or Apple?
Apple.
Android.
Savings or spendings?
Spendings.
In unison too. Sweet or savoury?
Savoury.
Introvert or extrovert?
Bit of both.
Yeah, I was going to say, I want to sit on the fence too.
I want to do a bit of both. Probably more the extrovert than the introvert.
I think you both need to be a little bit extroverted to be able to do
what you do. Yeah, definitely. Cannonball into the pool or one toe at a time?
One toe at a... Oh.
Cannonball.
No, I don't cannonball. I walk in.
Tidy or messy?
Messy.
Oh. I like tidy, but I'm probably messy.
Digital calendar or paper calendar for planning?
Digital.
I like a whiteboard in my office at work.
Yeah. Call or text?
Text.
Depends who you are.
Oh, I feel honoured then.
Fucking call.
He called me.
I've sent you a text once, Scott, and you told me off, so I've never done it again.
Yeah,
now I ring you.
And you can't get off the fucking phone to him, can you?
Oh, I'll text Scott and I'll get a phone call straight away as well. Yes or no answer, Scott.
Not a 10-minute one?
Michael, I can hear fucking piping on in the background there.
I sent him a text once, and then there was a big Facebook post the next day about lazy pricks who text him.
60 seconds is fucking digress.
Isn't it? But we're all picking on you, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, okay, cool. Right.
Would you rather time travel to the past or the future?
Past.
Future.
Ooh. Do you sleep with the fan on or off?
At the moment, on.
I don't get a choice. Olivia's got it on.
Pineapple go on a pizza?
Absolutely not.
With you, Adam.
Have you guys ever witnessed or experienced misogyny in the hobby? What have you done to try and stamp that out in societies?
I think for me, you guys and I have had this conversation a couple of times now. I don't know if it was misogyny, but there was definitely a more male-dominated society when I first joined the society. I think we've certainly come a long way to making it more inclusive so everyone feels welcome. Is it perfect? Probably not. But I think we've definitely come a long way as a society. And like I said, I use my daughter as a perfect example. Some of the stuff she loves is that people just accept her as another herper, not as a 15-year-old girl, but just as one of the other members and one of the herpers out in the fields. I think we've come a long way.
This is a hard one for me. I don't see it a lot because, I don't know, I've never looked at it. But then when people sort of highlight it, well, our committee has always been very much female heavy. We've got a lot of females, a lot of women, a lot of very strong women in our club and have been part of committee as well, which is fantastic. But I've also been on the other side of that as well, where I have experienced it. I won't stand for it.
Or should you?
No.
It is a hard question to ask a female, though, because if you
difficult.
tell the truth, you then are banging on about sexism. But you ask the question, so it's not like you are banging on about being sexist. You've been
Thanks
asked
for the question. Thanks for the question. Yes, I have. I've seen it. I've had a couple of, I don't know if you want to call it personality clashes. I think it might be. But I do also think that some people wouldn't have spoken to me the way they have spoken to me if it had been my husband.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah. Hear you loud and clear on that one.
Yeah. Getting better.
Yeah, it might be improving, but I think the other part to this, and this is something that as a male I think is really important to see, is that if you fucking see it, call it out. Call out your mates that are doing that sort of shit. If they are being misogynistic,
But
they should be called out for that stuff. It's not cool.
yeah, I agree with that. But on the same time, if Joe or I were to call out somebody for that sort of behaviour, it goes a different way to if you or Adam would have.
Yeah, but sexism isn't okay, or racism isn't okay, or
I'm not saying it is.
but none of these. I'm not saying you are, but none of this stuff is okay. We can call out anyone for bad behaviour. Anyone should be able to call out someone else for bad behaviour.
And I think that's very pivotal, Scott, because I did find when that happened to me in this one instance, is a lot of people came to me and said, that wasn't right, that shouldn't have happened, but they didn't actually say it to the person who did it. They were calling me behind the scenes saying, that wasn't on, I heard what happened, that wasn't on, that shouldn't have happened. But they didn't actually ring that person and say that to them.
Yeah.
If it makes you feel any better, I already had it a previous time.
But in all seriousness, though, someone witnessing it and not saying something is almost condoning by proxy.
But it also makes everybody else uncomfortable if they're called out publicly.
How uncomfortable is a person being fucking taken over the coals, though?
That doesn't usually take it into account.
Sometimes that can't be done. This was done in the middle of a show or in the middle of an expo, and then they doubled down on it after I had left the situation. They doubled down on it in front of children. So
And you've got to be the bigger person.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's just hard sometimes. You just hope that people can reflect after that and
Yeah.
go, hey, that wasn't on, and I will change my behaviour next time. That's all you can hope for, and hopefully slowly and surely things do change.
I think, too, to be fair, right, none of us are perfect as well, right? And it's all well and good to look back on things with 2020 hindsight. But at the same time, if we can try and do things better, we should.
My favourite story here is Scott took me to a craft show a few years back, and he was standing at this, he knows, look at his face, standing at this stall. My mother had asked him to get some wool samples, some business cards of ladies that made wool. So he's just standing there and standing there and standing there, and he'd been forever. So I come up and I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you standing there for so long? And he's like, oh, I'm waiting for the lady to be free. Your mother wanted some samples. And the lady goes, oh my God, I didn't realize you were waiting for me. Oh my God, I am so sorry. Oh my God. She comes round, she hugs him, she holds his hand, she apologizes profusely. She tells him that probably came across really sexist because she assumed he was standing there waiting for his wife. And Scott goes, yeah, I know how she feels. This has happened. And I'm like, that lady apologized, hugged you, apologized like 10 times. You've got no idea. That wasn't even close, mate. We got a viewer question here from Ash Horn. It's a question for both of you guys. What has been the most challenging aspect of running your society, and how have you overcome such challenges?
Okay, Ash, you are definitely going up the back corner now.
To be fair, it's actually not a bad question.
We actually had that one, but we scrubbed it out when we realised that.
But I think we've sort of probably answered it several times in this. Running the expo or just generally in the Reptile Society?
Yeah.
Getting speakers, dealing with people that don't want to stand next to each other, dealing with different personalities, moderating.
I think for me, from an expo point of view, I spoke about the situation where the hire company went bust and we had no tables or chairs or anything 4 weeks out. That was probably one of the most challenging 48 hours of my time ringing every single hire company. And to be fair, I called in a favour from a guy that his daughter did work experience with me, and I said, hey, do you still have the hire company? That's how we got that one over the line. On a day-to-day society challenge thing, I think a lot of the general public think we have more say or more pull with the department with certain law changes and stuff than we do. We are obviously one organisation, but it takes more than just us to ask questions of the department. And we don't make the rules with the department and all that. We try as our best we can to stay on top of them and stay up to date with the changes, but we don't influence those changes more than anyone else does.
Yeah. Guys, when are your expos and where are they this year?
You go first because yours is the first one.
So ours is the 28th of March at Caulfield Racecourse.
Ours is May the 3rd at Illawarra Sports Stadium.
Awesome.
How close is that to Easter, guys? When's Easter?
That first weekend in April.
Ours is the week before Easter.
And we're about 4 weeks after, which is why we're not in April. Days, Easter, all that sort of stuff. Hey, Adam, I got you. Do you want to judge at the show, please?
Yeah, give me some dates. And
3rd of May, I just told you.
Yeah, I need like more than a day though. Like, I can't just be there for a day. I can't do a grand fly in and fly out.
That's what you did last time.
Me? No, I was up there for a couple of days.
Oh, you were there Saturday and Sunday?
I think I come on Friday. I was there Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Oh, well, I didn't see you Friday. It's fine.
Yeah. I wasn't invited.
That's because he didn't want to be anywhere around the fucking Reptile Expo. He was just attending it.
No, but it would be great if you could come and do some judging at the show. Would be fantastic.
Mate, I drew the first shift on the barbecue, mate. 7 a.m. start on the barbecue.
No barbecue. We're not running the barbecue, so woohoo!
What, do you farm that off to somebody to do a barbecue?
I think we're probably going to get the Lions Club in to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Give Adam a bit of a break. Then he can enjoy it. You'll have to have a talk to Scott about judging because Scott's judged for us as well before.
Yeah, no, that'd be good.
Yeah, we'll have to have tie down one year too.
Get tied down to do judging at the same one.
Yeah.
What's one takeaway that you would like the audience to get from this episode, guys?
How fun it is to be in a reptile society. I know you've actually asked some pretty difficult questions and some of it can seem like it's all doom and gloom, but I've made lifelong friends through this. Yeah. I have made lifelong friends. It's not only expanded my knowledge with the reptiles, and I have that access all the time if I have an issue. The Spencers aren't breeding. What can we do? And I'll just call somebody. But yeah, just the friendships that you make from people who have that similar hobby, going out and meeting people. We've got such a close group of friends now. We travel with them and go out and do herp trips, and Adam does the same thing as well. These people wouldn't be in my life if it wasn't for the Reptile Society.
Yeah.
So,
I'm exactly the same. The people that I am friends with now are all reptile people in some way. As Joe said, I travel with a lot of them. You guys have been to our meetings where we meet at the venue before a meeting and there'll be 30, 40 people turn up to have dinner before the meeting. And that social side of our meetings, I think, is probably one of the biggest things we get out of it is just the friendships and the people you talk to from different backgrounds, different experiences, people who have kept different things to you that you can ask questions of and really get to know people.
Yeah.
I think too, the crazy part of it is that you can literally go from one side of the country to the other, or internationally as well. In your case, Adam, you went over and spent time at Dingo's place, right? some random herper that you met effectively online for the first time, met him in person, hit it off with him, and then travelled over to his place and then gets taken around behind the scenes at his own residence. Herps are something that do that. They are a way of connecting people literally across the globe. And if you wanted to find out how to look after something like this, or where to go and find this, or where to go and do that, you talk to other people in our societies, and people in the societies are usually pretty helpful.
Yeah.
I've travelled to, obviously, South Africa with people from the Herp Society, India, Indonesia. And like I said, my wife's super supportive and has never once stopped me going on a trip. But all that's just with people from the society.
Yep.
And people from different societies in New South Wales that have come along as well.
Yeah.
I've put up on my Facebook page that we're thinking about, I'd love to go to Tinley. And I have people who inbox me from America who goes, oh, when you come over here, you need to do this. Or when you come over here, you need to come and see me. Don't worry about staying with someone over there, like getting accommodation. You can just come and stay with me. You know, just those relationships that you build through.
Yeah.
Some complete fucking rando that you've never spoken to before. Just like, come and stay at my house. Okay.
When I went to India, one of the guys from the Madras Crocodile Bank came back to Australia and stayed at my place. And like, we still talk now. And at the time, I was like, do you know this guy? I'm like, yeah, I met him last week. You're right.
100%.
We had someone come over from Singapore.
The amount of herpers that we've had over the years where we've just gone, oh, hang on, I'll pick you up from the airport, I'll pick you up from your hotel, take them out chasing critters. The crazy thing is, right, if you put a sanity check on that for a minute, some random off Facebook has sent you a message going, will you take me out to the bush and show me animals? Okay. So you literally pick them up from a fucking hotel, take them out and walk around the fucking scrub by yourself with no one else around you, and then drive them back to their fucking hotel after showing them critters in the bush.
Your driving scares them, though.
So, you know,
I was waiting for the story to come out.
Oh, not you.
But this is my point, right? So, and like I've done this multiple times, right? I'm sure you guys have done it. But then the other side of it, when the shoe's on the other foot, you'll do it too, right? You go, oh yeah, I'll send it to fucking such and such. I don't really fucking know them that well, but I've spoken to them for the last 5 fucking years. And you send them a message, you go, oh yeah, come and stay at my house, come chasing fucking rattlesnakes, or come do this, or come do that. It's like, okay, all right, fine, great. We'll do it.
I had an American journalist contact me via Facebook because someone told him to.
That one you sent to us?
Yeah. I picked him up from the local train station and we went to Big Desert together overnight. And I'm like, this bloke, I could murder him, he could murder me. Like, we're in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And like, literally, he messaged me a week before on Facebook and said, hey, I got your name and number off this person. They said you'd take me hurt, or they said to contact you. And I'm like, let's go.
Yeah.
But I think it was similar when we first met, Scott. I think I messaged you. I was in Brisbane one day and I'm like, hey, I'm in Brizzy. And you come and took us out.
Yeah, 100%. I picked us up at the hotel room and we went out chasing fucking critters. This is the thing, right? The amount of times that we've done that, but then we've had that reciprocated as well. And it's awesome. Like, at the end of the day, you go to a foreign country or you go to a foreign city or whatever. Like, when we were in Germany, we got taken to half a dozen people's houses that we'd never spoken to before in person. Oh yeah, come down and play with our cobras and rattlesnakes and shit like that. Well, it was fucking nuts. But at the same time, these same people, if they came back and asked us, hey, can we...
A few of them have.
And a few of them have. Can we come and do this, or can we come to... 100% you can. So it's those connections that you meet with people across the globe is amazing.
Hey, Joe, just for the record, Scotty's not bad on the barbecue too.
Yeah, actually, he's pretty fucking good on the barbecue.
I would happily get on the barbie for you, Joe. Not a problem at all.
You need to provide the barbecue, though, and the food, because otherwise you're fucked. He promised a heap of Americans when they came out that there's a place we go to all the time and there's barbecues, and because there's so many barbecues, there's a lot of Lacey's. So these guys got really excited about seeing Lacey's and having a barbecue. Went and got meat, get there. Council had taken away the barbecues, so of course there was no Lacey's, so we've got a heap of meat.
Council had literally ripped the barbecues out, so the barbecues weren't there anymore.
So he's been hearing about that for years. Is there anything we haven't covered on the podcast that you would like to say, guys?
Oh, we've got new cages this year.
Oh, awesome. You got them.
We haven't got them yet. They're in the process of being made. Corey's doing them.
Yeah.
You knew about that?
Yeah.
Holy hell.
You told me, actually, I think.
Did I?
The other week, maybe?
But it's like, oh my goodness. Everyone loves the show cages and always asks us about them. But they're 2011, I think they were made.
Mm-hmm.
So they've done us for 15 years. About time though, last time we had the show, it was like cracking on the sides and glass wasn't fitting and the tracks had come out of the bottom. So yeah, you should see the new ones. Oh, wow. It's like,
Awesome.
holy hell.
Cool.
No more drills. No more drills and trying to, it's one side where you undo it with a Allen key on 2 clips, it pull the side off, slide a whole piece of glass in, close it back up and lock it.
Oh, nice. Much easier.
Not even sliding doors on the front with a lock on them.
Awesome.
It's just one big piece of glass across the front.
Excellent.
Look forward to seeing them.
Be thickened for the monitors.
Yeah. Adam?
No, I think we've covered a fair bit. Like I said, I mean, our big thing is just that everyone feels welcome, and obviously meetings are free to attend. We still get messages from people saying, can anyone attend meetings? We made a decision a long time ago to make meetings free for everyone, not just members. The idea of the society is to encourage new people to come along. So if you're interested in any way, shape or form, just come along to a meeting or come to the expo.
Cool.
And where can our listeners find you guys?
You can find us at illawarrareptilesociety.com.au or on the Facebook page, just look up Illawarra Reptile Society. I'm uploading stuff all the time on there.
Yeah, same for us, vhs.com.au or Victorian Herptetological Society on Facebook. I'll put a link on ours to theirs, and Joe can do the same for us, just in case
we
they
always
get
do.
confused.
So you'll see VHS stuff on the Illawarra page, and vice versa, especially coming up to...
Do you guys have stickers, Joe?
Yeah.
Illawarra Herp Society?
Yep.
Better get some sent up to us.
Send them out. Like what we do for Adam, we'll put them in the front of the books that we mail out.
We've got all these ones of like sexy people that own reptiles. I love my snake. See the looks that one gets on the back of cars. The Illawarra Reptile Society, I love my lizard. Sexy people own reptiles.
Okay.
Awesome. Thanks for listening to the Cold-Blooded Contributions podcast. The Cold-Blooded Contributions podcast is proudly sponsored by Midwest Tongs. For over 40 years, the Midwest Tongs team has provided the highest quality snake handling tools made in the USA. Made by professionals for professionals. Visit Midwest Tongs at www.tongs.com. A massive thank you to our guests, Adam Sapiano and Joanne Payne. We really appreciate you guys taking time out to talk to us.
Again.
Usually we will be releasing our podcast monthly, so make sure you follow us so you don't miss out on an episode. We will put the links mentioned in the show notes. Give the Cold-Blooded Contributions podcast a like on Facebook so you don't miss any updates, giveaways or guest announcements. Remember, always trust your creativity. It's intelligence having fun.